Okay, well, the other day somebody had commented on Enter the Stars video. I was scrolling down and it said, I mean, he was just talking about sometimes he thinks some of the stuff he does is a stretch. And for example, B looking like a 13. And um, he wasn't being disrespectful or anything. But when I read that, B looking like a 13, it reminded me of one of my favorite comedians, Mitch Hedberg, because he actually does that. He talks about that in one of his skits. So I decided to look him up. Now, literally, you cannot make this up. He died on March 29th, the 88th day of the year, at age 37. I found that by reading a comment. I mean, really. And there is tons of stuff that goes along with this guy. He was born on February 24th, 1968, a leap year, which is the 55th day of the year. So you have a 5-5. There's also 311 days left in the year. So you have your 33 or your KKK, or there's multiple things with the 311. He died of a heroin and cocaine overdose. Let's see here. Yeah, he had a heart attack or a heart defect, and it basically his cocaine and heroin use led to the official cause of death. Heroin, H8. He totally was setting himself up on accident even for a sacrifice because he was on the Howard Stern show a few months and 12 days before his death, and they talked about his drug use and how it's under control. So basically, if they kill him off, everyone in the world just thinks that he overdosed on drugs, even if he didn't. I mean, even right here, it says 3 years before he died, in December 2001 issue of Penthouse, they asked him, if you could choose how you would end your life, if you could choose, how would you end your life? And he said, first, I'd want to get famous, and then I'd overdose. If I overdosed at this stage in my career, I would be lucky if it made the back pages. I mean, really, it's predictable. All right, so the album that he talks about, the scrunched together B, or 13 looks like a B, is on Mitch All Together. And right here it says it was released on November 18th, 2003, which would be your 1118, your 888. But if you click on it, it says December 9th, 2003. So I'm not really sure which date it is, or maybe if it was both, but they're both significant, and I will explain that in a little bit. All right, here's where he talks about the B thing. Hopefully you can pick it up on my microphone. Otherwise, just come to this and watch it for yourself.
Hello, what is your name? Bob. Get the fuck away. If 13's unlucky, then 12 and 14 are guilty by association. I saw you 12, you were hanging out with 13. No, I wasn't. I was with 11. You talked to 14 about that shit. What you got to say, 14? Me divided by 2 equals 7? All right, I was with 13 shit.
You like how he throws in just like weird numerology, I guess. Me divided by 2 equals 7. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Never noticed it before. Also, the what's your name, Bob? Get the fuck away from me. Bob is literally B-O-B. So if you add it up the 13 way, 13 plus 15 plus 13, it's actually 41. Another significant number, 41, was 73 years ago. It gets even better here. He has an 88 reference, and maybe he doesn't even realize it. Maybe they just somehow used it against him. I don't know. But he's talking about getting candy out of a vending machine, and he has to push the HH button. And he's never heard of the HH button before or the concept of HH. But here you go.
I was gonna get a candy bar, the button I was supposed to push was HH. So I went to the side, I found the H button, I pushed it twice. Fucking potato chips came out, man, because they had a HH button, for Christ's sakes. You need to let me know. I'm not familiar with the concept of HH. I did not learn my AABBCCs. God damn it. I get the Reeses candy. If you read that name Reeses, that's an apostrophe S. Reeses, apostrophe S on the end of that name. That means the candy bar is his. I didn't know that. Next time you're eating a Reese's candy bar and a guy named Reese comes by and says, let me have that, you better hand it over. I'm sorry, Reese. I didn't think I'd ever run into you. You're a fucking bully, man. Let me at least have a piece. The Kit Kat candy bar has the name Kit Kat imprinted into the chocolate. That robs you of chocolate. That's a clever chocolate saving technique. I go down to the factory. You owe me some letters.
Right here he mentions the number 8 again.
I went to the store, bought 8 apples. The clerk said, do you want me to put them in a bag? I said, oh no, man, I juggle. But I can only juggle 8. If I'm ever here buying 9 apples, fucking bag them up.
Also, a second ago, he talked about Reese's, a candy bar, and Kit Kats. So I went there, and you find out Reese's was made by H.B. Reese in the Hershey factory, in the Milton Hershey, 88 years old. It goes on. But anyway, this guy, H.B. Reese, which also could be 88 Reese, H and a B, it says he died on May 16th. And then, why would they even put this in here? 8 days before his 77th birthday. I mean, they really had to write that in there? 8 days before his 77th birthday? Now check this out, though. So he died, and then 7 years after he died, his 6 sons were the sole owners of the company. And let's see here. Reese, they merged HB with Hershey's in a tax-free stock-for-stock merger, with the 6 Reese brothers receiving 666,316 Hershey common shares, valued in 1963 at $23.5 million. I mean, you got a 666,000, 6 brothers, 7 years after the dad died, 8 days before his 77th birthday. So let's look at Kit Kat here. It says it was created by Roundtree of York, is now produced globally by Nestle, which acquired Roundtree in 1988. With the H.B. Reese Candy Company division of the company. That's pretty weird. The origins of what is now known as the Kit Kat brand go back to 1911. 9/11. Now we got the product's official title of Roundtree's Chocolate Crisp was renamed Kit Kat Chocolate Crisp in 1937. So Kit Kat wasn't even called Kit Kat until 1937. All right, right here he talks about Mr. Pibb.
I had a Mr. Pibb. Mr. Pibb is a replica of Dr. Pepper, but it's a bullshit replica because dude didn't even get his degree. Why'd you have to drop out and start making pop so soon?
And check out Mr. Pibb here. It says it was introduced in 1972 as Peppo, 1973 as Dr. Pibb, and then later that year, Mr. Pibb. So it wasn't even called Mr. Pibb until 1973. There's also multiple 2 references and a whole bunch of his jokes. Here's one of them that sort of involves the 2 at least. It's a Rice Krispie joke.
Wheaties box. I want to have my face on the cover of a Rice Krispies box. Snap, Crackle, Mitch, and Pop. Hey, how the fuck did he do that? Hey, in Hollywood, it's all who you know, and I know Crackle.
So in Hollywood, it's who you know, and he knows Crackle. Now, this guy was the original guy to play the voice of Crackle Rice Krispies guy. And he was born December 21st, 1922. So there's your 22 reference. And then your 12, 21, your mirrored images that go along with the 37 and 73. All right, well, I'm going to end this video right here. I'm going to make a part 2 because I just have too much more to talk about and not enough time to put it in there. Just a recap, though. There was a deal about the letter B looking like a 13 being kind of a stretch. I remembered Mitch Hedberg did a skit that said that number 13 looked like a scrunched together B, and I looked Mitch Hedberg up. Hedberg, can't pronounce his name even. And he died on the 88th day of the year at age 37. And then there's all kinds of other significant things that follow him. All kinds of 73s and 37s around him. But anyway, I'm going to make another part of the video that covers a whole different, his first CD that he made. So anyway, see you in a bit.